I take the digital balance. I think the connection is... Yes, we are connected. Start the broadcast now.
A man stands alone on a desert mountain. A bush burns and is not consumed. A voice speaks from the fire and gives its name. I am that I am. Later, the same presence travels with the people as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. It settles over a tent in the wilderness. Inside that tent, a recipe is given. 500 shekels of pure myrrh, 250 of fragrant cinnamon, 250 of a plant called kaneh bosm, 500 of cassia, worked into olive oil. This is the holy anointing oil. The plant at the center of it is the part that never settled. Moses is keeping the flock of his father-in-law when he sees the bush. He turns aside. The voice speaks from the fire and tells him to take off his sandals. The ground is holy. When Moses asks the name of the one who speaks, the answer is given. I am that I am. Tell the people I am has sent you. That name will travel with the people when they leave Egypt. It will appear as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. The pillar does not leave them. It goes before them and stands behind them. When the tent of meeting is raised in the wilderness, the cloud settles over it. The presence that spoke from the bush now dwells above the tent. Inside that tent, God gives Moses the formula: 500 shekels of pure myrrh, half as much fragrant cinnamon, 250 shekels of kaneh bosm, 500 shekels of cassia, blended into a hin of olive oil. This oil is holy. It is to be used on the tent itself, on the ark, on the table, on the lampstand, on the altar of incense, and on the altar of burnt offering. Anyone who compounds a similar mixture or who pours it on a common person is to be cut off from the people. The restriction is absolute. The oil belongs to the priests and the kings. The Hebrew word for the one who receives it is Messiah, the anointed one. In Greek, the same word becomes Christ. Modern Bibles translate kaneh bosm as sweet calamus. That reading comes from the Greek. Calamus is a marsh plant with almost none of the properties the text requires. In the 1930s, an anthropologist went back to the Hebrew. She argued the word was never calamus. She argued it was cannabis. She believed the same plant appears elsewhere in the Hebrew scriptures as an exotic aromatic brought from a distant land. She believed the Hebrew term may even be older than the later Scythian word cannabis. The Scythians burned the plant in closed tents and breathed the vapor. They traded and sometimes fought with the peoples of the ancient Near East. The linguistic trail was there. Most translators simply did not follow it. The New Testament never names the plant. It keeps the oil. Jesus is called the Anointed One from the beginning. He is described as deeply learned in the Jewish scriptures. It is reasonable to assume he knew the formula God gave Moses in the tent. He gathers 12 men. He sends them out. They cast out many demons and anointed with oil many who were sick and healed them. The same practice continues in the letters. One speaks of an oil received from him that remains inside a person and teaches about everything. Later texts go further. One says the anointing is superior to baptism. Those who receive it are no longer merely Christians. They become Christ's. Another says he came so that he might anoint them with the ointment. The ointment is the mercy of the Father. Hebrew law had limited the oil to the priestly class. Jesus and his followers appear to have extended it to ordinary people and to Gentiles. That single change would have been enough to create conflict with the authorities who controlled the temple and the sacred formulas. The Gospels record healings of the blind, the leprous, and those said to be possessed by demons. In later centuries, some readers have pointed to the known medical uses of cannabis oil. For certain eye conditions, for skin diseases, for epilepsy. The texts themselves never name the plant. They only keep the oil and the results. Whether the original recipe contained cannabis or not, the act of anointing was treated as a transfer of power and of holiness. It was the substance that made a person the anointed one. When Rome made Christianity the religion of the empire, it also decided which practices would survive. Many of the early texts that spoke most clearly about the anointing were set aside. The open use of the oil faded. The symbolic language remained. The plant that may have stood at the center of the original formula disappeared from the official story. Her reading of kaneh bosm has never become the standard translation. Most Bibles still print calamus. The weights given in the tent remain on the page. The title, Christ remains in the language. A bush burned and was not consumed. A name was spoken from the fire. A pillar of cloud settled over a tent. Inside that tent, a recipe was given. The oil was restricted to a few. Then it was shared more widely. Then the sharing was closed. What was in the oil is the part that never settled. The question is still open on the same ground.
This has been the Digital Madman. If you enjoyed this, please share it, subscribe, and smash the like button so we can get the algorithm to pick it up. Thank you, and I will speak with you next time.